Well, hello everybody, welcome back. We've got more amazing patch notes for Phasmophobia this week. As you can tell, things are a little bit different because I am on the road, but that's okay. The show must go on. So we have Blue Woo here on my left,
Hello.
and we've got Mei Mei here on my right.
Hey.
And we're going to be going over the patch notes for the week of January 29th. And see what all has changed in the game and see how it's going to affect your gameplay.
All right, up first we have non-VR swapping items from a turned on flashlight will now turn on your shoulder light automatically.
Love it.
Finally, yeah, this was like a much needed change. I'm glad it's here. It's like a quality of life thing, but it's pretty big. It makes changing your tools less cumbersome, which in turn I think even encourages you to swap to other tools even.
Yeah.
It's like that one little thing that is just perfect to add to an update, you know?
Yeah. Love it.
It's such a small thing when you think about it, but it has such a massive quality of life impact while you're playing the game, right?
Following on from that, we also have that they lowered the camera night vision brightness and all the house maps to prevent situations where it is too bright to see the ghosts. I've got to say, this is well overdue. How many times did you place the camera in the bathroom or the kitchen and you just couldn't see because of all the reflection?
True. Yeah. Certain rooms were like super hard to see in.
Yeah, it was like constant. It was like a constant. Have you turned the lights on in there? No, it's just really bright.
All the lights in the house would be off. All the lights in the house would be off, and it would still be like blinding you. You couldn't see anything sometimes, depending on like the angle of the camera, right? So I'm really glad they addressed that because that was extremely irritating. All right, up next we have Banshees will no longer listen for their non-target players by sound, which is interesting. So I guess before this change was made, if a Banshee was hunting its target, someone else in the team could distract her away from her chosen, her favorite target by like, I don't know, singing show tunes or some shit.
Yeah, probably. Yep, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, so
never did it myself, but
this kind of follows on a couple weeks ago. We were talking about, when they made the change so that ghosts would listen to you during hunts, and Mei Mei had done the observation of being able to mess with the AI by having it go back and forth to to each player. This is probably partially a fix for that too.
Well, it also falls in line with the Banshee's behavior because, as you said, it does select one target,
Exactly, yeah.
But this, I feel like does have an interesting, shall we say, bad side effect. I mean, this might also kind of give away the ghost if if you're making a load of racket and it just completely ignores you, going for someone else who's being quiet.
Right.
Just something that
I can see that.
It's just something that I was thinking about when I was putting this together,
Up next, we have fixed a bug where you could click fast to break the salt, allowing you to spawn infinite amounts. Now, this would be something really nice to have in real life. Fortunately, real life doesn't work that way. It's really not a big deal, this fix, but I'm glad it's there. It shouldn't be broken to begin with, but...
How do you know it doesn't work like that in real life? How do you know it doesn't work like that in real life? Have you tried clicking the salt really fast? You don't know. You might break the universe.
Really afraid of trying it.
You might create, instead of a black hole, a salty hole,
That was my nickname in college.
All right.
I believe it. I mean, you are our power box bottom.
No, stop.
It's all coming full circle now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is interesting. I wonder, like, if you could spawn infinite amounts of salt, I wonder if you could put so much salt on the ground that you actually crash the game for people too.
Probably.
Like I said, I don't know how the hell people figured this out, because you can't just stack the salt on top of each other. So did they just run forward and click it consistently?
They just spazzed out a little bit and accidentally clicked it a bunch of times, right?
They sonic along the ground, just pressing the key.
Yeah. It's interesting. Some of these patch notes, you got to wonder how someone found it in the first place, and this is definitely one of
Right.
those instances. Kind of like remember a few weeks ago the VR planking? Like who discovered that? If you plank, the ghost can't kill you.
Oh, that one's so good. Oh
It
man.
Yeah.
was. So next we have fixed a bug where VR players could not speak after a game has finished. I honestly think this is it is more important because could you imagine having to consistently restart your game just to like play another match, and you wouldn't even be able to keep a consistent lobby. It'd be join and leave, you know?
That
Yeah,
is pretty annoying.
I don't think I don't know if this was happening every time, but I feel like even if it wasn't happening every time, that actually makes it even worse because now at the start of every game you have to ask people, "Hey, can you hear me?" Like
Oh my
every single
god.
time. And then if they can't, well, shit. Now you have to like leave and exit, restart, join back in, you know? So,
I mean, that kind of reminds me of the early day of Phasmophobia when we had the similar kind of issues with the sound, you know?
Right,
yeah,
right, yeah.
everyone had that issue. Yeah,
And
that
like,
was
how
like
much of a kicker was that?
Yeah, we had to rely on Discord quite a bit. And that took so much of the neat elements out of the game where like we would be able to talk during hunts and that was nice from a winning the game perspective, but it wasn't so nice from an
Yeah.
immersion and the game being fun perspective, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Welcome change. I like it.
So next up, we finally have a fix for the bug where the ghost was ignoring other players when searching another player's last seen location. So I don't know about y'all, but I actually encountered this quite a bit, where the ghost seemed to be tunneled on a teammate during a hunt, and I would just be able to run right past the ghost, and it just like pretended that I didn't even exist because it was going after my teammate. So
Yeah, I've had something similar. Not exactly the same, but obviously the ghost sees you at different locations. Me and a friend was trapped in the ghost room in Tanglewood, but it had seen me like out in the corridor and it just ran straight up the corridor and we just managed to survive by hiding in the ghost room. It was so
wow,
silly.
Wow. How does that work?
right?
And like the thing was is that like when the hunt happened, I tried to rush out of the room and I saw it and I'm like, nope, no, no, I'm just gonna back into the room. And I just watched it as it like pranced up the corridor, and I'm like, okay, cool, you go
that
that
was a
way.
gamble. That was a gamble, May.
Yeah.
Wow.
I also did hide behind my friend in case it got me.
That's hilarious. You gotta love those meat shields.
All right, coming up, we have fixed a bug where the ghost would get progressively less active the more players died. I'll be honest, I don't know if this has ever happened to me before. It probably has. I just haven't noticed.
Yeah, it's not one of those
Have you
things that
guys
would like.
noticed?
Yeah, it's not one of those things that would like be right up in your face. It's something. It's more subtle. It's probably something that the developer found that I'm sure a lot of players have actually experienced. They just didn't realize it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see it. I mean, because you like depending on what kind of activity, it's kind of vague in that regards. What he means by activity, you know, if it's not going to start throwing stuff, if it's not going to hunt, it could make some of your objectives like a hell of a lot harder to fulfill. Like capturing a picture of the ghost, if that counts as activity. If it's not
Yeah.
going to show up anymore because 3 people have died, it's going to be like, well, okay, well, we failed this objective, you know.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
So next we have they fixed a bug where the ghost would remain in an infinite hunt if if the host disconnected during a hunt.
Hell no.
I
Hell
could see
no.
this. I could see this as being like peak troll, like peak troll kind of thing. You know, wait until everybody's in the house and wait for a hunt, and then as the host just go disconnect.
If they knew that that was a thing, this was probably more of an accidental discovery thing. Could you imagine being those players that found this bug where you are stuck in a hunt that never ends?
I must be honest. If a friend told me about this, I would have gone into a public lobby and done this.
Oh my
You
god.
monster!
I've never claimed not to be.
Yeah, this hasn't happened to me personally, but it sounds like it's like a living nightmare sort of situation. Like you're in a nightmare and you can't wake up. That's what it sounds like to me. It's terrible.
Yeah, exactly.
It's terrible.
Aha. Fixed safe spots in Edgefield, Ridgeview, Grafton, and Bleasdale.
Stop cheating.
I know, right? Bunch of fucking cheaters out there, man. Takes all the fun out of the game. Safe spots. And my Phasmophobia, no thank you. I don't know. Some people gotta win at all costs, including at the cost of fun. So.
I mean, I can imagine in some regards, it's funny finding it the first time, like, oh, teehee, I found a safe spot. But if you use it from that point on, then you're cheating. And what's the point in playing the game if you're going to cheat?
Exactly.
Play fair. Stop cheating. Coming up, we have fixed a bug where if you were in a spot above the ghost, it wouldn't kill you. I imagine in like slightly higher ground, like on the counter maybe. Kind of goes in line with the previous change. Just stop cheating. Stop it. We don't want it. Right?
So,
we don't want it.
So this is interesting. So now I wonder if there are more quote-unquote safe spots you're not allowed to typically get to, if now the ghost is more clever and just gets you anyway.
I wonder what kind of height it has to be, though. Like, how high up? I mean, are there any points in that you can glitch to be that high up? Or, I don't know.
Kitchen counters, maybe the tables? I don't know.
But if that's at, like, chest height for the ghost, surely it would be able to grab you, but, like, I don't know. It feels like a very weird game of the floor is lava kind of thing, except the floor is spirits.
Yeah,
it does.
Following on our original patch note about the flash, I almost said flashlights.
That's for the next expansion.
So, following on from our original patch note at the start, we also have that non-VR flashlights and UV lights will now turn on when swapping items if your shoulder light was already on. This, I think, is really good because how many times I've been trying to figure out if my light's on or if I've been like grabbing my UV torch and it's not staying on, and I'm like, God's sake. Or like if a hunt starts and I've not got either of them on, you know? Because I've been swapping items.
Yeah, so this is actually kind of a direct extension to that earlier patch note, except it goes in the opposite direction. So you can turn on your flashlight, you know, when you have something else you're holding something else, and now it's going to still be turned on when you actually focus that as your active item.
Yeah, such a quality of life thing.
Yeah.
Jeez, give us more quality of life.
Right? I feel like the game needs them. I'm glad it's finally getting them.
You know, I mean, honestly, the state that it was in is super duper impressive, though, considering it was by one dude. You know,
True.
True. It was super polished for being one developer. Super polished.
I mean, nobody is saying it was bad in the sense of like it wasn't broken. It had its issues, but it had a pretty good start, and it's been getting more and more polished.
All right, so next up, they fixed a bug where if you place the sound sensor too high on the wall, it wouldn't detect footsteps. This is interesting. This also makes me wonder how the sound sensor actually works, like from a code perspective. Because I wonder what about the height makes it so that the footsteps don't get picked up. You know, because the sound sensor like can pick up sounds super far away, like behind walls and stuff in another room if it's within its area of effect. So that's kind of peculiar. But no, this is good. This is good. Now you're going to be able to detect the ghost a lot easier if no matter how high up you place it in a room. You know, I guess before if you placed it too high, then you know, you could have detected. You know, the ghost could have walked right past you, you wouldn't even know it.
I do think, to an extent, I was thinking about the opposite of this. This would have been a good way to place it, but like avoid people's footsteps triggering it, so you'd only pick up if it threw something, you know?
True.
So I could see it being used for either way, to either avoid people constantly triggering it as they're walking in and out of rooms, but also then you wouldn't hear the ghost in the room, you know?
True. Yeah.
Yeah. I do know that the sound sensor, when it's picking up sound, it's like projecting an area in a square. So it might be that it's not a square, it's instead maybe a cube, and maybe the cube was being placed too far up and sound is being generated from the footsteps like at ground level or something. They were just not making contact.
I
I
bet
don't
that's
know.
exactly what it is. Ah, Blue Boo's so smart. I bet you anything that's exactly what's going on there. Yep.
I don't know, maybe. And finally, we have several optimizations to improve load times. Loading time optimizations are always welcome. I'm glad they're here. I'm sure everyone appreciates them, especially if you're May.
Wow, I was just literally about to say that I'm actually glad this is a thing because I always feel so bad with longer shitty times, especially like shitty loading times, because I'm loading in from the EU for you guys, but now I feel targeted.
Thank you, devs. Our friend appreciates it.
We all appreciate it. Everyone who plays
yeah.
with May appreciates it. No, I'm just teasing you, May.
I'm gonna get my revenge somehow. I'm gonna use it as a meat shield.
So that's gonna be it for this week's patch notes, everybody. We are gonna be back next week. I am actually gonna be in my studio next week, and I or maybe not. Actually, I don't know. Because I
don't
might be
hype me up
packing
like
it up.
that.
I might be packing it up. I don't know. We'll
Such a
see.
tease.
We'll see. Follow all three of us on Twitch. We all stream regularly. Our links are down below in the description. And also hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, kick that bell, do all the things, annihilate all the buttons so you can see next week's patch notes and keep up to date with what's going on in this game. So that's going to be it, everyone. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Hey everyone! Before I go ahead and hit those like and subscribe buttons and leave a comment. Let me know what you thought. And while you're at it, go ahead and follow me over on Twitch where you can join us live and join in on the fun while it's happening. Until next time, bye-bye.